Awaboye Boshishe this morning. This live here is a live I'm doing up on request. I noticed that before I closed out the previous live speaking about Iwori Meiji, that someone asked, how do we start Tawene? And so upon request, I wanted to hop on and give another introduction as well as instruction of what I understand Tawe to be and how we can start. So mind you that Tawede was recently performed during December, where most of the time people are celebrating Christmas, they're celebrating Kwanzaa, and Oloye Ifakerede, he initiated Tawede in order to honor what is for us. What is for us here, those individuals who are outside of Christianity, outside of Christmas, outside of Kwanzaa, and and basically holidays that do not reflect or represent who we are as a people, as Ifa practitioners, as those who understand this tradition that we're in. So it's not to say that it is only for individuals who are into Ifa, because people may not even know what Ifa is, but they still may gather something from Tawade. But it is an observation and reflection of self cleansing and venerating the 16 Odu, the 16 major Odu and its principles. So Tawede is a period of intentional observation, reflecting and cleansing, self-cleansing during this time. Tawede is not asking you to go out, to go and buy and shop online, or go out of your way to do anything or to feel as though, pressured because of these holidays. Tawede is about self-reflecting. It's about cleansing, purging, and reflecting and observing yourself in the now. It does not have to be held throughout Christmas. Hence, it's January and I'm starting it now. I started it on the 16th. Tawere is a 16-day, as it is reflecting the 16 Odu. It is a 16-day observation. And this 16-day is a spiritual walk or sit, meditative practice. And so it is set to align you with the 16 principles of the Oluodu. And that's the reason why I decided to incorporate it into studying the Odus as I am doing now, as I did earlier with Iwori Meiji. Tawede is designed to deepen the awareness with discipline and personal transformation. So, unlike the holidays, you're not going out to go, you typically psychologically, what they have done to many of us is they have somehow created this competition of the who's and the who have and the who have not, right? Who's buying this and who's doing that, keeping up with the Joneses, figuring out where they are and what it is that they're going out to buy for their families during the holidays. We're not celebrating that holiday and we're not competing with people. And because we can do this any time of the year for 16 days, especially in Isheshe, we're not observing anyone else but ourselves. Another thing that I like about Tawede is that in Isheshe, it is common that most people are comparing themselves to other individuals who have walked this path long before they did, years before they did. In Tawede is to be reminded that you're not walking with other people. You're not in comparison to other people. You're not supposed to be checking what do other people have or what pots they have, what icons and orishas that they have, what days and elecades they have, how they are wearing it, who told them what to do. What is not about anybody outside of yourself. It is simply about deepening your own personal awareness, your own journey, and your own personal transformation. Tawada does not begin with perfection. It is about your intention. So you're not to, look to see how other people are doing things and measure the way that they're doing it. By what you're doing to say if whether or not they're doing it right or doing it enough, or whether you're doing it right or being taught to do it correctly. Tawada is about what you have gathered. What have you been given? What have you been taught? And what are you teaching yourself? What have you gathered in information and stuff? So it's about being, like being in the now of where you are, even if you're at the beginning stage of just simply wanting to understand and wanting more information. You put yourself in that position in order to learn, to learn without judgment, or to learn without being so critical about yourself. And so that is where it begins, with your own intentions. Set your own intentions so you don't feel um, defeated, or you don't feel like you're in despair during this time. To start Tawade, you choose a 16-day period. Hence, I started on the 16th of January. And in the 16-day period, you commit to daily reflections and conscious living, meaning in the now, being in the now. And so traditionally, this cycle begins mid December, so December the 16th up until the 31st. And then, and you're just sitting with the reflection of the 16 Odus. But with Tawede may be observed at any time when a person is called to uproot old patterns and realign with their purpose. Realign with whatever intentions it is that they may want to set, whether it is to sit with regulating themselves, sit with the information, the data of their emotions, sitting with words and wisdom of other people, sitting with anything that was thrown at them that may be unwanted or unjust, sitting with eliminating that and allowing the emotions of that to pass through them. And so if you want to sit with something that you no longer wish to hold on to, you want to uproot it, then that will be the time period to do so. That intention, putting all of your essence into your intentions in order for it to manifest into what it is that you want it to be. Each day represents a single focus. So it's not to be overwhelmed by anything in particular, but you're just focusing on what it is that you know that you want to get through, what it is that you want to accomplish, and being mindful so that you're able to process things correctly. You're able to control things, like I spoke about with the previous Odu Iwori, just being reflective and allowing for your inner flame to illuminate what is within you that you need to train, and what it is that you need to control, like that process of a red flame. That's what it means to be mindful and to illuminate your inner flame, as I spoke about in Iwari Meiji. Is what I realized, not to go too deep off of track, is that I realized that when it comes to that inner flame, as I was speaking about in Iwari Meiji, is that a lot of times people, us as a people, we don't realize how bad the flame is, you know, how deep the flame is. And a Warrior Meiji reminds us that awareness can be can offer preventative measures. And so when we notice the spark, we still have a choice. We can ignore that spark and allow the fire to decide for us, or we can do what we need to do in order to refine and control the flame. And so we don't wait until the flame is burning things down before we start trying to check to see if the wires are good. We see the spark, so we go check the wires. We don't wait until the body starts to deteriorate and collapse on us to listen to its warning, because the body gives us signals. It gives us data that we can use to to take heed and to go get any doctor's notices, any doctor's prescriptions, or whatever it is needed. But we saw the flame before it happened. We noticed the body um, signaling us for its attention, for our attention. And we don't wait until relationships or finances or our spirit to be in ashes before we choose differently. Iwari Meiji is speaking about the inner flame within us that we should be paying attention to. Iwari Meiji speaks about that. And so I bring that Iwari Meiji message about the inner flame into Tawede, um, just to basically remind us or reflect on how we think, how we speak, and how we act. Where are we being reactive? Where should our attention be? Where should we set our attentions, and what should our intentions be? Where do we need more discipline? What patterns are we ready to release? And Tawede reminds us that growth happens through awareness and not by force, because we are making a conscious decision in order to to be responsible, basically. Just be responsible. So you're not required to be perfect during the 16 days. You can start at any given time, at any time, as long as it is within a 16-day duration. And you're not required to you don't have to do it in a group setting. You don't have to go out and get any boards or and do vision boards. You don't have to go out and buy or purchase anything, because everything is within. Everything is already prepared within. Only thing that you have to do is ask the right questions and be honest so that you can get the right answers. And so if you miss a day and you want to return back to it, or you say, I'm going to wake up early in the morning at 7 o'clock, but you oversleep at 9 o'clock, it is okay. It is okay. As long as you arise in the morning time and you sit with what that Odu is for that day. And then this is another opportunity to study the Odus and to learn the Odus, to identify with the Odus. And so as you're observing, it's okay if you struggle a bit, because you're being intentional and you're learning. How can you be better? As long as you try, you'll get better. So it's not to punish you or anything. It's not to, make it seem like you have to be on tip top shape or anything like that. This is just simply for preparation. So Tawede is a personal pilgrimage. Yeah, personal pilgrimage. And this pilgrimage is one that refines your inner character, strengthens discernment, and brings you as an individual into closer alignment with the wisdom, responsibility, and self mastery. All you have to do is begin with your own sincerity and allow the process to work for you. So, again, it's a 16-day duration. If you observing and reflecting on the 16 Odus, in order for you to meditate and see what it is that you need to refine what is illuminating within yourself. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Thank you.